is Rebecca Chamberlain, and I'm very happy to be one of the guest art instructors at Camp Conroy this year. In keeping with the focus of the camp, I've decided to have you create a project called the Tree of Life Project. This is building on the focus that trees have connection with us, our environment, and our communities around us. To begin the project, you will need certain materials, and I have some examples of those laid out for you today. You don't have to use these exact materials. You can use other things that you have at home, but these are just the ones that I've chosen for the project. First of all, you will need the outline for the Tree of Life, which has been included in your packet. You do not have to use this outline, but if you want to, I'm going to talk to you a little bit about how you can trace this outline onto paper and use it to build and create. But please remember that this will be your own project. It will be your own tree, and you're not going to be copying anything. You're just going to use this to build on. If you choose to draw your own, that's more than fine. You can do that. You can do it on a larger piece of paper, but there are certain parts of the tree that you're going to want to add to the project, and I'll discuss that with you at length. Now, if you have the template, the outline that you have provided with you, what you will need for this is a piece of tracing paper. Now, I have a tracing paper sheet here, and this is the original tracing paper that I used for the drawing. So how you go about tracing this onto a piece of paper, a drawing paper like this, is that you will take the template that I provided for you. You will put a blank piece, a clean sheet of tracing paper over top of the outline. You'll take a pencil, which I have here, and you will go over the outline. You'll trace over it. Once you've traced over the entire outline, you'll take the transfer paper, you'll flip it over, and you will take the side of your pencil and you will shade all along the outline that you just traced over. So this is going to have nice pencil graphite all over it. Then you're going to turn it over, get a nice piece of drawing paper, put it on your drawing paper, and then you're going to trace it again. And the image is going to be copied onto your paper. Now, if you still want to use the outline, but you don't want to trace it, you can cut out the outline. Some of this is going to get lost if you do that because there's lots of detail and squiggly lines, but you can just add to that and draw that as well. If you decide to create your own, you can use a larger sheet of paper. I cut mine down and made it an 8.5 by 11.5 sheet, but you can use like a 9 by 12 sheet as well if you would prefer, and that's perfectly fine. You'll just have more to decorate around if you choose to do that. Other materials that you will need for this will be fine tip markers, or you can always use colored pens. I used the markers because I liked that I could control and make lines a little bit thicker with them. I used colored pencils as well, and these can be any brand of colored pencils, it doesn't matter which ones. I used a regular pencil, of course, to trace the actual drawing. I had an eraser handy. I had scissors, which is optional. You may not need the scissors for this. You may or may not need a glue stick. If you decide to cut out the template and paste it, of course you will need a glue stick. I also added these stickers. These are word stickers, and you can probably find certain craft paper that has words as well, but these are really easy because they've got different inspirational words like explore and create and cherish, and you can just peel these off and put these on your tree if you decide that you don't want to write the words out. After you have gathered all of your supplies in front of you, then you will need to think about what exactly this tree is going to make up, what's going to be on this tree. There's going to be certain parts that you will need to add to the tree. The parts of the tree will be the roots, the trunk, the branches, the leaves, and the fruit. Now with the roots, what you're going to do here, this is where you're going to add information about your family If you know anything about your ancestry, where you came from, your family name, it can be your city, your town, the country where you live, you can add that there. This is also a place where you can add certain people in your life that have been important to you. It could be a grandparent, a best friend, a sibling, anyone that has made an impact on your life. It could be a special teacher as well. You can also add maybe a favorite movie, a book, even your favorite song if you want to. I'm going to show you what mine looked like completed when I go and explain the rest of the parts of the tree branch and the trunks. After we have the roots here, we're going to move up to the trunk of the tree. Now, the trunk of the tree is where you're going to have information about you, about who you are, what you're interested in, and certain qualities about you that make you special. I've included words like artist because that's what I am. You could be a dancer or an actor or a writer. You can add that in there. I've also included words that people had told me that when they think of me, they think of these words. So these words reflect what other people have told me about myself. Understanding, compassionate, accepting, welcoming, words like that. You can add anything like that to make it unique to yourself. Once you have moved on from the trunk, you're going to move to the branches. Now, the branches of the tree is the part where you're going to add your goals, your hopes, and your wishes. Not only for yourself, but also for your community and the world around you. I've added certain words here, like inspiring others, meaningful work, explore new places, and master new skills. Those are unique to me. But for the world around me, I've included words like a healthy earth, clean air, unity, equality, hope, kindness, compassion, equality. Those are other words that I feel represents the world that I would like to see in the future. After you finish the branches, you move on to the leaves. The leaves of the tree are to reflect people that are very important to you in your life. Not just the people that were there from your early days, but these are people that have made that you love dearly. They can be best friends, they can be cherished pets, they can even be people who are no longer with you. After you've moved on to the leaves, the final portion of our tree is the fruit portion. Now, the fruit portion is really just to represent your favorite color. So you can choose any color that you love and you can color the fruit in there. What you want to remember when you do the tree is to always begin from the bottom and work your way up to the top. The way that I went about using this and the materials that I used for the roots portion and the different segments of the tree, I divided them off with lines, shapes, squiggles, dots. I used a lot of circles. The reason why I used circles was because the circles remind me of the circle of life, the cycle of life, and I wanted to add that in there. And the colors all mean something to me. Now, I chose an apple tree because this apple tree reminded me of apple trees at my grandmother's house when I grew up. I used to play in her yard and she had apple trees everywhere. So I love apple trees, so that's why I chose the tree. Now, if you decide that you don't want apples for your fruit, you can add peaches, you can add anything that you want to on there. And if you are from the low country, you can add something unique to the trees here. You can put moss on the trees to make it really special and make you think of Beaufort or make you think of other parts of the low country. Just however you want to do it. There's no right or wrong way to do it. I used colored pencil. You can always use that, or you can use marker. The reason why I did use colored pencil is because it's a little bit lighter, and then when I went over the writing portion of it, it would stand out more. I outlined everything in either a pen or a fine tip marker. So this is the basic example that we have here. Yours is going to look very different from this. You can use as much of this as inspiration as you want to, or none of it at all, just whatever you feel comfortable doing. Always remember that this is all about you. And the beauty of this project is that you can come back in a year, 2, 3, even beyond that, and do another tree project. And there may be parts of it that will still be the same, but there are going to be parts of it that will change and grow as you change and grow. Thank you, and I hope you enjoy your Tree of Life project.